Thank you for watching the 8490 podcast, where we speak from the experiments only. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Bruno. Bird. Yeah. Blackwell 620. Right. By any means, you already know how to go. Right.
All right. Thank you for joining the 8490 podcast, where we speak from experience only. I'm your host, Duane Smith, and I would like to introduce you to my lovely panel. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right. So today we're going to be discussing what it's like to date in 2023, more specifically, how social media impacts today's dating scene, okay? So my question for the panel is, first, about a show of hands, who thinks social media hurts relationships and dating right now, guys? All right, who think it helps the dating scene? You see? He's swiping right now, right? All right. So my question is, so does the social media help or hurt relationships, and why? Who wants to go first? Jalen, talk to us.
Why it doesn't, right?
Why it does or doesn't?
I feel like social media hurts relationships with too much accessibility. It's easy for you to just slide someone's DMs and feel it some type of way. And I think it's easy access for you to instantly start a new relationship while you're the same what you did with someone else.
Wow, she just gave y'all some good ideas on that one. That was good. Anybody else? Max, and then I got you, Sean.
Well, I think that it really it's easy to cheat, like she said, as far as it does hurt your relationship. Also, men, they compare women, going through social media, comparing how they look. It's just so superficial nowadays with the social media.
So it's easier to cheat is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Ronnie?
So I kind of just want to piggyback off of, I'm sorry.
What you got?
Kind of just want to piggyback off of, what everyone said so far. When it comes to social media, a lot of mostly females, they definitely have different opinions as far as pictures being liked and different opinions as far as there. But I think social media definitely twists a lot of opinions and mindsets.
Sure. So what if this was already there and social media is just augmentation what was already there in society? Maria?
I feel like it depends on the boundaries of the relationship a lot. So, whatever your significant other is comfortable with, your significant other may be uncomfortable with you liking somebody else's picture, right?
Facts.
Or they may not be. But I feel like you just have to be respectful based off of the boundaries of the other person that you're in the relationship with.
Right,
you
because
break that boundary.
Exactly, because you may be in that relationship with a person doesn't mind. They're a little more lenient about that kind of thing. Valerie?
I feel like it hurts the relationship because a lot of people like to be in everyone's business. And when they see you happy, they just want to ruin that happiness for you. They just keep planting that jealousy and false information okay, because I had that experience. And people were just being friendly looking at the beginning, and they will just become friends with my significant other, and they will just tell him, okay, so she is doing this with my brother, yada yada, and that's one way of hurting the relationship because they just don't want you to be happy.
For me, for experience, I think it's so much easier for exes to try to come back. They just keep an eye on you, even if they're blocked. It's just... Yeah, so that's just been my main thing. I just feel like when it comes to, especially when it's a long relationship, and vice versa for men and women, it's just it's easier for other people to try to get involved.
Nicole?
I have a different topic on it though, but it's, for instance, sometimes when you're in a relationship, the woman or the man are not on social media and the other is. That can also be something.
Good point.
Right, that can also be something that hurts the relationship because one of them may feel that social media is not something that's good for you, where the other way may think, it's something that's good for me because, I can keep it with my friends and my family and things of that nature. So that, if the person does not have social media, they don't really understand it. So when they don't understand it, they look at it from a different standpoint. So that can also hurt the relationship because now you're bickering about something that they may see as negative, but it may not be something negative at all. But, I see couples sometimes that have it, they're social media friends, and they're like, why did that person like your picture? Well, I can't say why they like the picture. So in that case, then it starts to, hurt the relationship. And then that's when we say, you know what, both of you are either off or both of you are either on. It's about trust.
And as men, we never worry about why like the suckers like our girl picture. It's like the 6'8" dude with muscle. Why he like your picture? What the hell is that? Sydney, and then you there?
So just to piggyback off of what you said, Nicole, I personally don't have social media, but my husband does. I don't look at it in a sense that I don't understand it. It's more so this is what he does. It doesn't really bother me. I don't check it. I don't look on it. It's about the trust.
Round of applause for that.
Yeah, and respect. Better respect me. If anybody sees anything though.
Wow. You had to ruin it. You there, then Manuela? You there?
I'm in the same boat as Sydney. I don't use social media like that, but my exes, they're big on it. Like they stories all the time and posting things, and we have talked about jealousy, but we haven't talked about being at the same level with social media, and that can create issues from the point of view of, for example, if I don't post things about our relationship, you don't care about it enough, or you're trying to hide it from everyone else,
Right.
and then you're being judged from that angle. It's like, oh, you don't care, you don't want to be seen with me, or you don't want to recognize this relationship in front of everyone openly. Like, I don't care for social media. I don't like that.
Right.
I don't want people to be all over.
Yeah. And I want to keep what's
The other side of the world. I want that to be for us.
Right.
Not for everyone to know, right?
Especially like the most precious things.
Jump in and be like, hey, I see you traveling a lot. I like traveling. And then it creates all that type of decision.
Yeah.
That is completely necessary.
Anti-social media, I get it.
Yeah.
Manuela?
I just think it's more of the level of maturity that the relationship also has. Because at the end of the day, you're your own person. You do whatever you are bound to do. Same thing with your partner or whatever it is. So I just think it's just a matter of perspective, most of it. And I mean, if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat.
Very true,
So,
yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have social media or not.
You're gonna find a way.
It's just, you're gonna find a way.
Yeah, because there wasn't no social media when I was coming up in the 90s, and it was savage. Kev, and then Billy G. Kev.
So basically, social media gave people a false sense of what they can attain. So back in the day, when you got with a girl, you thought she was like the prettiest girl in school, prettiest girl in town, and you didn't know nothing else. But now social media comes along, and like, oh wait, this girl was like one town over, she's pretty, she liked my photo, I liked her photo. Man, can I get her? Can I not?
Right.
So you start like wandering, it gives you the opportunity to like wander off, because before we didn't have that in our minds. It was just like my
Exactly.
girl, my guy. And so now social media brought that aspect in, and it's really a false sense, because
it really is.
You contain all these things that you're seeing, all these likes, people follows it, not someone that likes you.
Exactly. Right, because when I was coming up, you had to actually walk up to the girl.
Right.
You know, all 5 of them, introduce yourself. It was a whole thing. Now you can just send a message here to keep it going, but it is easier, exactly. G?
No, my point is basically because a lot of times insecurity is part of it. You move somebody your insecurities, you see social media, they're posting something that's normal. And see somebody else, they like, oh, he may like her better than me, and she like his post. I'm scared, and that causes a whole nother aspect of mistrust.
Yeah.
What is in her head is not really true. It's on insecurity. So a lot of Not saying it's going to be men, people in general have their own insecurities to where that can affect us also, but it starts with you, within yourself, and insecurities.
And it's gassing certain people up too, like, just because somebody like your picture, don't mean, you know, that's, people like I got 30 dudes, I can leave you to the left, you know, straight. Those just likes, that ain't, yeah. They just trying to smash, right? Yeah. Tayshawn, you have something? Okay, I saw a hand up. Oh, Shirley?
Yeah. I just feel like people idolize other people's relationships on social media, and it creates issues in your relationship. If you see such and such happen on social media, and then you bring this to your man, well, I seen such and such buy her all these flowers. They living in misery. Right. You can't believe what's on social media. So I feel like it creates a lot of problems because people idolize other people's relationships.
Very true, very true. Anybody else? Mike?
I guess I'll wrap it up by saying, quick and fast. So, word to the fellas, this is what I just recommend. From hearing all that, I would just say, when you meet your girl, just stay off of it for a while. You know, you gotta feel out. You gotta see if she don't like this liking, and you gotta know what you're dealing with.
True.
Before you go on. So then, once you know what you're dealing with, then you can kind of ease the social media in. You might have to cut some people off. You might have to delete some. You're gonna have to switch the game up when you're a single man going with social media. Some will have to change.
Right.
You gotta finesse that.
And that's a good boundary, exactly. So Mike mentioned cutting people off. That's a good segue into my next topic, the question. How long should this cutting people off, or I call it the purge phase, last? And by purge, I mean you're dating someone new, y'all may take it to that next level. You know, you're seeing multiple people when we're single. How long should it take you to, cut that, fat off the bone, get rid of those excess, unnecessary people? Stephanie, and then I see you, Jayla.
For me, personally, I feel 6 months. Because I feel like when you first get into, or when you first start talking to somebody, it takes about 3 months for you to actually know them.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for my wife. It wasn't 6 months, was it? Goodness. I was doing some heavy caking. Say it ain't 6 months.
Mind you, someone can only pretend for about 3 to 4 months of who you
Right, you don't get exposed, right. Jalen, you have something? Anybody who's gonna have a shorter time than Cerrone? Hold on, Shiva. You have something, Jalen?
No, but I can add. I think it's based on the individual, what they, how long they, want to do with that person. It's based on, if they want to cut them off or not. So I think it's all in perspective. If that person is giving them what they need, and if they're not,
All right, Cerrone.
Kind of like what was said already. I basically think it's really well, as a man, I really feel like it's really what the female wants. Rather it's just
So you'll keep it going if she allows.
I mean. I might not keep it going to the fullest. But I'm gonna eventually stop, but not in 6 months. I'm gonna stop probably like a month.
Okay. Sydney?
I'm gonna apologize in advance because I know he said he wanted someone shorter than 6 months. For at least in our situation, it took probably like a year.
Whoa.
Yeah, it took about a year because of past trauma.
Right.
We're both getting over stuff. We both have some things we need to get out of our system before. So for me, that's why.
Were y'all like living in Utah at the time, or? So Ronnie mentioned what you want. All right, depends on that person, right? So what does make people want to settle down? Like what you just wake up, or because we all think different types of people. Everybody's attracted if you're spending time with them, I'm sure. But what makes you just feel like, yeah, this is that deal? Valerie,
I feel like that's a question specifically for men because men have harder time to realize what they want. Right. It's just settle first because women already have that vision. Okay, I want to settle because you know, I want to get married at this point, and I want to have kids at this point. I want to have my house. I feel like men are hard to like think about that.
Y'all bring out bulletproof vests, fellas. Use shots. Sorry. I got grades if you count. Hold on. Manuela, and then I see you, fellas.
I think is once we actually realize that we share the same ethics, values, whatever vision, is when we make the actual final decision. Yes, I would like to be with you, or no, you gotta go.
Wow, just like that.
Yes.
Max, then Mike.
I get what you're saying. They say men chooses when the relationship starts because a woman
True.
could be ready, but the man might think you're not the one. Or the man just prolongs the situation. So do you feel like men are the ones that choose the relationship? Well,
I do. I'm a firm believer in that. I think men choose like if a relationship happens or not, or marriage, and women choose whether, you know, yeah, if it goes down or not. But I think ultimately, you know, yeah, men propose, you know.
Right.
Stephanie?
Which is why I wait 6 months.
Wait, that's 6 months. So
That's
bad.
6 months.
That's 6 months.
I mean, what if you're running guys off though? Like if you're, you know, because I know, man, we're very prideful, especially when we find somebody that we want to settle down with. Like, man, she got all these dudes. I'm not trying to compete. Nobody's on that.
It's not that I'm sleeping with different people, because if I'm focused on one person, I'm focused on that person. Now, do I have friends that I might chill with, talk nothing sexual or anything? Yeah, if you don't want me to have any guy friends, I need to know that I am secure. But you can't learn that in 1, 2, 3.
But men, this is how men think. If you date somebody, you
And
see
I'm not saying all my secrets either.
that part. But so true or not, fellas, as a man, only speaking for a woman that you're interested in, right? If you go to her social media and you see 50 dudes, you're like, oh, she smashed all 50 of those dudes. That's just how we think. Right. Who is this guy parading as a pastor? Who is he? That's just how we think.
She definitely Hollywood.
Hold on.
She definitely Hollywood though. She don't gotta smash all of them, but it definitely shows like, you know, good attention.
Right, so good point. So she may have not taken it there with all those guys, but she's craving attention. And that's kind of a thing for alpha males. I'll say that. I'm gonna separate alpha from beta, but alpha males, if you don't want to craving attention, it's just not, we're not on that. Diane and Kev.
To roll back, I believe that when a man meets a woman,
Valerie?
he knows. He could tell. It doesn't take 6 months. It don't take a year,
True.
2, 3, 4, 5. When you speak and you talk, he's like, okay, she could bear my kids. I could marry her.
Fact.
She don't pay my bills on time. She's gotta be frugal, right?
Yeah.
She gotta get to know the person. And I also believe that too nowadays, because it's the norm and it's just the society that we're living in, that social media, everything you do, you gotta post. I believe post less. If I'm in a relationship, you may run into me down the street one day. You don't have to know everything that I'm doing. But I believe that sometimes what stops a man from going ahead to say, okay, I want to marry you. Maybe he has trauma, things that he hasn't dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you that, hey, I believe that we could do this together. You know that we could do this together. If you feel like right now you're not ready to let's move it on further, I'm willing to hang out with you, but let's see where it goes. Because he knows and he's gonna tell me, it's you.
I agree.
You give me some time to get man up and be the man that you would want me to be. So you know, I feel like he knows already. Once you open your mouth and the way you talk and the way you carry yourself, you know, and you're building him up while he's doing things. You know, affirming things, letting him know, hey, I see it in you. Not also to going back to the potential side of it too, because you can't give that to them. But if they see that, hey, she got my back, this the one. I don't talk to so many other women, but it's something about you that stands out that says, hey, let me try, let me see where this goes, and he'll come in.
True, I agree 100%. Kev?
I kind of agree with that a little bit, but I think being honest Most women aren't going to accept that from a man and telling them that. They're going to want the relationship. They're not going to just be waiting on the sidelines. They're going to be going off and like seeing one of the suitors that they have. I think a lot of women say that though, but if we're being honest, most women, you tell her, like, look, I really like you. I got to focus on things on myself first before we take it there. They're still going to press for that relationship.
I'm gonna say this real quick though, traditional. And let me make sure I say that lightly, because I don't want nobody to think of new age, new things. But for me, traditional, I feel like once you see it there, like, not saying that you're gonna date, like, I believe that you could date 3 men at one time, not sleeping with them, but you could date them and you could be courting. But it's one out of that 3 that's gonna have, that's like, okay, I believe that we could do this together. You know what I'm saying? And give them an opportunity. Not all women do that and want to wait, but is he worth the wait? If he's worth the wait and you see that he's working on himself, I'm not talking about just talking about what you're gonna do, but showing me action.
He's showing,
consistency.
right.
Then I believe that we could, I will hang and I'll see where we are.
I like that. Maria, then Sydney.
So, stemming off of what you said, right? I feel like a lot of men, well, first, women are conditioned from a very young age what you have to do, right? You have to be a proper young lady, you get your own, but then you find a man, build something with that man, have a home, have children, right? You're conditioned with that thought from a very young age. We're playing with dollhouses from a very young age.
Right.
We're playing, you know, house from a very young age. But I'm a firm believer that a man is going to marry the woman that is around and checks all the boxes off when he is ready and not before.
Right.
So what you said about, you know, somebody maybe going through it, waiting time to find themselves, you could have the perfect girl, right, that checks off all the boxes. You're still not going to settle down because you are not ready as a man to settle down.
That's true, because, and I see you, Sydney.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. You could be here now and you could build him, right? And y'all are together and you're asking him for things and he's not giving it to you. And he meets the next girl and give her everything.
And then you think I built that man and I made him better for that.
And that also makes us sit and
Look, all you did was warm up that slot machine. Somebody else came and. Hold on, everybody. Sydney.
She kind of. I'm just piggybacking off of what you said as far as like, as long as he's actually working on himself. Because if you're talking to other people and you're telling me that you're working on yourself, but I'm the one, so then why are we talking to other people?
Right.
Maybe they related to Stephanie. Who knows? Manuela, yeah.
That's tough. Yes,
Manuela.
I think yes, like he was stating, who is going to wait? It just depends, because I mean, if you're going to be taking, how long is it taking? I mean, should be a timeline. It's not like I'm gonna wait for you a whole year or, 2 years. I mean, that's just being selfish, in my opinion.
True. So we'll take Maxima, then Valerie, then we'll move forward. Maxima.
All right, so we're focusing on you now. I feel like if a man is not ready because he's not ready financially or mentally, he should not be dating. Just like a woman. You should get yourself together before you go out there and test the water, because we don't have time to waste.
Okay. Valerie. I somewhat agree.
But, to my point. But yeah, some men believe that 4 years is not enough into a relationship to, consider marriage. I have been in that kind of situation where I have done the wifey duties with a girlfriend's idol. And I realized, wow, I waited too long. Because as women, we don't have enough time. But men do have a lot of time.
And why don't women have enough time?
Create a family.
Okay.
We obviously, if we are in a relationship, we intend to get married sometime time between probably a year or 2 years, the most.
Okay, that's 1 o'clock. Y'all taking notes, fellas?
But if you wait 4 years and you are in your 30s, then you're like, okay, so what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, me personally, I don't think, for men, I think wait till you're 30. We were just talking about this, like nobody in my 20s had a chance, like in retrospect, you just wasn't ready, financially, mentally, and none of that spiritually, I don't think you're ready. Max, you mentioned people shouldn't be dating unless they're ready to settle down.
Right.
Which brings me to the next question. Is there a difference between dating and courtship? So you think it should be strictly courtship, no dating?
Yes.
Shirley?
I feel like dating, you can date multiple people to see who you're mostly interested in. Once you find that one, then you court. And you're courting them, hoping to lead to marriage.
So what if that guy is dating different people to see who he gonna marry?
But that's the dating phase.
Mike, then Maria?
We can just pretty much sum it up by saying, just to be real. We know what we want. That is true. That is true. And you stop cutting everybody off when we make it official. If we ain't said, hey baby, we official, and we ain't, then the ball is on. Now, let me tell you this now. If we catch you and you playing the field like that, there's a slim chance that we ain't trying to. I might tell you that, yeah, but we just dating, we ain't see other people. If you start seeing other people, yeah, you probably done failed. Yeah. But a man, he gonna let you know when it's ready.
If you got a toothbrush at my house, if there's a toothbrush at my house, you can't date no other dude.
She might have brought it up first. Like a man, he won't say, well, baby, I did a bad enough. He won't say, well, baby, you can go ahead and see who you want to see. Y'all might just be talking, well, baby, you don't care. You know how it come up and you just giggling. Now, you know what I'm saying?
Look, yeah, Sydney? Okay. Anybody else? We're good? Shirley?
When you have true intention of focusing on that one person with the intention of long-term longevity for that relationship.
But there's still other people in the picture.
No, when you're courting somebody, it's you and that person.
You and that person.
But dating, I see you.
Conversation, right? There should be a conversation, clarification more than anything before you lead to that, because you could vibe with multiple different people that you're dating. Oh, he's cool, he makes me laugh, whatever. But once you sit down and you talk to this person and say, you know what, I don't want to date anybody else. I want to be with you. I want to, focus on you. At that point, if you're going behind my back and talking to other people, that's like, it's not breaking the boundary. Right. You're breaking the boundary, and you're also breaking the courtship that you initiated. Right.
All right, you there?
No.
Yes. Somebody want to find Max?
I'm a traditional type of person. I'm sorry, I don't date several people. I would actually have, if I meet somebody that I'm interested in, I would know as soon as I give them my phone number that I really think I can have a conversation with them for a few weeks before we actually go on a date. When we date a few times, you know if that's the person for you or not, but I don't. I have a lot going on in my life where I don't have time to think. We're at an age that we're 35 going on 40, that I don't have time to date you, and everybody else.
Right.
That's more like what's going on right now, and that's why I'm a single woman. I'm old school. So if I don't give you my number unless I have real intentions to either going out with you because I like you in some way and I would like to get to know you in a different matter, but I'm not going to waste my time.
Everything's intentional, right? Exactly. I agree with that. Stephanie?
So me, I'm not very traditional. I basically, just because of growing up in such a strict Dominican traditional family, that's unrealistic for me because I'm way too open-minded. I'm way too honest, and it's just I can't fake it. So me, personally, texting and just talking on the phone, I'm not gonna feel that connection. If the conversation is flowing and everything is great, cool, then I know, there's a potential that I can go on a date with this person. Once I go on a date with you, that feeling that you get, that's when I know if I can potentially continue speaking to this person, continue going on another date with this person. But usually, for me at least, I don't really start figuring that out until like the second date, because men nowadays are so closed off. Yes. They're very closed off. So that's why I handle the way that I handle my dating life the way I do. I'm not sleeping around, but I am getting to know people because everybody is so closed off.
So, all right. So you say men are closed off, and I won't even comment on that because I wouldn't know. But however, it does seem like from just a place of experience, I'm 40 years old, I've known a lot of guys in my life. It seems like the men that are closed off are the quote unquote no good men that women seem to lean toward. There's a lot of nice guys out there that y'all just don't want. So that leads me to my next question. Exactly. I'm about to step on some toes in here. I'm gonna ask you, is it true or false, and why? Do nice guys finish last?
Smoke the finest, focus, no I'm grinding. I hit a lick, perfect timing. I came up, they say I changed up, everything the same, but the money different, it got me pulling up in something different, my switching up with something different, with a real, something different, I'm never slipping, no I got it on me, look close enough, you probably spotted on me, don't got it on me, I get it, just know I got the homies, from package bony to stocky, fed as a monster Tony, coppers on me, they watch me, though they do not condone me, let it roll. Yeah. Check.
Hello, my name is Duane Smith, and I'd like to thank you for watching the 8490 podcast, where we speak from experience only. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And be on the lookout for upcoming episodes. Thank you.